Rugby update, folks. Monthly update. We are sitting here 1st of June 2023, which means we are a mere 99 days away from a Rugby World Cup. The Rugby World Cup is just on the horizon, and you're probably pumped. I mean, that's only one day, but the fact that it goes from 3 digits down to 2 just makes it seem ever so close, and that 99 days, it's going to fly by. It's going to be no time until I am absolutely looking more haggard than normal and lacking sleep, because there's going to be a lot of rugby on. Time zone is not great for those of us in New Zealand, but it is going to be phenomenal. We've got training camp squads and whatnot being named left, right and centre, so she's all go, folks, and I for one am a happy chappy about this. But before we get to the Rugby World Cup stuff, there's a new jersey here. It is a red one. It is not the month jersey, which I have talked about in kind of some of the URC videos, sadly. But it is a red jersey, which I will kind of show you guys in just a tick, which has been sent through. Some stats and some thanks. And yeah, just a few kind of news bits which have been doing the rounds as we head ever so closer to a Rugby World Cup. Stats and thanks. The recent videos which have kind of attracted a bit of attention. The odds of winning the Rugby World Cup. That one always tends to be a pretty popular one to see how the bookies have got things lined up. The URC final and the Champions Cup final also drawing in a fair bit of attention. Both of those games, if you're a Southern Hemisphere fan, you may not have watched them, but they were absolutely, I mean, South Africans, you guys are kind of north now at the moment when I say that. I know you guys are down south, but you know what I mean. If you're European rugby fans, you would have watched them probably. If you're a Kiwi or an Aussie, maybe not so much, but they were cracking finals. Both of them real arm wrestles. Now, Super Rugby's heading into its playoffs. Final regular season round this week. So, I don't know, guys. If you're up north, or if you're a South African fan and want to watch some Super Rugby, pick a team. Go with my Blues. Support my Blues in our runs to the playoffs. Our coach is leaving at the end of the season. Be nice to send him off on a high. Can't see it at the moment because the Blues are, they're going to make the playoffs, but they're not looking like one of the world-beating teams at the moment. But yeah, playoff rugby. Happy days. Also, I should say we're 27 subscribers away from 60,000. So if you haven't subscribed, if you're one of the kind of, 50% of people who don't watch while subscribed, you could change that. I don't ask very often, don't mean to nag you, but if you could, that would be greatly appreciated. Something about getting to that kind of next digit from a 5 to change to a 6 is just a feel-good one. So yeah, that would be much appreciated. Now, jersey, as I said, it's red. What team do you think it is? It's not a Welsh jersey. It's not a Munster jersey. But it is a red jersey. Whatever your guess is, you're probably not right, because it's not one of the kind of leading red teams in world rugby. This jersey comes from Bernhard, so cheers to Bernhard for sending this through. There's a bit of a clue. Do you recognise that flag? This is a Swiss rugby jersey. Rugby jersey from Switzerland. Bernhard has sent this through. He's also sent me through a wee letter, which I've just kind of read as well. Mentions in his letter the fact that he doesn't often get to, talk that much rugby with his local Swiss comrades, because obviously it's not a very big game over there. But there is a rugby community, I guess, everywhere around the world. So he's hoping the game's going to grow in Switzerland, especially with the Rugby World Cup being just across the border over in France. He also mentions that the emblem on the jersey, obviously we've got the flags at the bottom, but the emblem is a wee bit of the old Edelweiss, the flower. So he's mentioned that it's a kind of protected thing. You're not allowed to pluck them in Switzerland. So how cool is that? A Swiss rugby jersey. I am going to walk around the streets of Auckland with this thing, undoubtedly, and see if anybody gets confused as to what team that is. Maybe people are going to think it's Japan, because the Edelweiss may be looking like a Sakura. But it does say Swiss Rugby on it, so yeah, that's fantastic, mate. Cheers very much for sending that through. I hope you have a good time if you do get to go to the World Cup, because, yeah, as I said, it's not too much of a trick for you guys in that part of the world. But yeah, cheers, Bernhard. Also, a few thanks to people who are supporting the channel, be it liking, be it subscribing, be it just watching the videos, especially if you watch all the way to the end. YouTube likes long watch times. But also to these people, the patrons who support the channel every month on Patreon, especially Michael Daly, Angus, and Jack McHugh. You guys, yeah, basically just keep the channel afloat. So, yeah, hope you guys appreciate this kind of Wall of Fame moment. It's a small thing, but it's the least I can do to kind of thank you guys for your support. I put a bit of extra content out on Patreon as well, usually something at least once or twice a week. So yeah, if you want to join these lovely people, there'll be a link down in the description to the old Patreon as well. I should say another link, just quietly. I know it's a bit cheeky, but if you want to see me walking around China with a camera talking Chinese to people, because I do speak a wee bit of the old Chinese. When I went back to China last month, I took a camera around, filmed some spots, talked to some people, ate some food. Yeah, I've opened a new channel called 2 Cents on Tour. It only has, as of recording, 203 subscribers. So there's only 2 videos up. It takes me a while to edit the things together. I'm kind of doing it in my spare time when I'm not doing rugby stuff. Got hours of footage, just kind of chopping it down, adding some subtitles. Yeah, go check it out, please. I'll put a card and I'll put a link. So it's kind of hard to get any new channel off the ground in YouTube world. It's very kind of slow going, and 203 subscribers is very much kind of rookie numbers. But if you wouldn't mind checking that out, watching a vid or 2, there is only 2, I would much appreciate it. Subscribe over there. Something totally different. There's no rugby on there. I do the odd video on a Rugby Jersey, which I haven't uploaded yet, but yeah, me in China doing stuff. Hopefully it's something of interest for some of you. But yeah, what else? Rugby World Cup. Rugby World Cup. There's going to be no Rhys Webb at the Rugby World Cup. That's why I'm wearing this Wales jersey. Rhys Webb has joined Justin Tipuric and Alan Wynne-Jones in deciding he's going to retire from international rugby. He mentioned the uncertainty and difficulty in Welsh rugby at the moment, which doesn't speak to a kind of happy camp. I know Gats named his initial training camp and it had those 3 guys, and now they're all withdrawn basically. So it doesn't speak to the happiest times in rugby in Wales. You got to hope that this is kind of a low point and they can build things up to get into the World Cup with a bit of steam going forward, right? Because things at the moment do not seem that flash. I like Rhys Webb. I think he genuinely provides something different at the base of the ruck. Really attacking-minded player, right? I know he gets criticised for sometimes being a bit slow to distribute, but if you're looking for a guy to come off the bench and do a wee snipe here or there, he's pretty good. He's pretty good, old Rhys Webb. He's sharp, so yeah, I think we can expect him to be heading abroad, and I think he's got 40 caps, so sad to see him go, but yeah, man, the Welsh story needs some positive stories coming out of Welsh rugby, because at the moment, I don't want to say it's doom and gloom, but it's a little bit negative. For the Springboks, they have just finished their latest preparation camp. Remember, the Springboks have kind of got, I don't want to say unenviable, but they've got a more difficult task of having players spread around the world and the ones domestically based in South Africa. So they've got the alignment camps for the guys abroad, and then they've got the preparation camps for the guys at home. They've just finished their latest prep camps. The guys are going to get about 10 days off until they join back up into another prep, but more specifically for the Rugby Championship, which is also not too far away. So the international rugby is going to be back soon. Sia Kolisi is still doing his rehab after his injury, so we wish him a speedy recovery. Hopefully he makes the World Cup fit and firing to go, and hopefully pretty well rested. Like Sexton is also injured at the moment, so there could be a few guys who are coming off their injuries just in time to be heading into a World Cup super fresh. So we'll have to see. The kind of strain of the continuous gameplay on the Springboks guys is a bit of a difficult one, with the club scene and the international scene not being aligned at the moment, with them having to play the Rugby Championship straight after the URC. But yeah, they haven't had that much of an off-season, but hopefully these 10 days or so, the guys can kind of chill and get any niggling injuries out the way and be ready to fire off in the old Rugby Championship. And yeah, Mohamed Hawass, goodness gracious me, he must have a pretty bad temper. He's apparently had a pretty hard upbringing, which is, you know, that sucks. I think it's proven to like lead to more difficulties in life, right? The harder you had things when you were young, the more likely things are going to be hard for you when you're older. But I mean, in however many years I've been following him, which is not that many, I know he punched Jamie Ritchie and got a red card this Six Nations just gone. He got another red card. I think it was like for a headbutt. And he's always had a kind of court case with an armed robbery thing from his youth hanging over him, which he was, I think, convicted of, but then was given like a suspended sentence. And now he's been back in court for smacking his wife. because she was smoking. He caught her smoking, and she told him that she had quit. So he apparently whacked her, which is not right, obviously. That's not how people deal with problems. But yeah, he's been given, I think it's an 18-month sentence. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know he's been convicted. He's still free at the moment, pending an appeal. His new club, Clermont, I think have basically said that he's probably not going to be joining them. He was supposed to be leaving Montpellier to join Clermont, and his Rugby World Cup future may well be done as well. If the dude's having to play with an ankle bracelet on, probably not going to happen. So yeah, man, he's a good player, but geez, if you've got that kind of temper on you, I mean, maybe for France, this is a dodged bullet. If you're going to have a guy with that short a fuse who's easily provoked, yeah, nah, not a good look, man. So yeah, he's not in a good spot at the moment. Can't be doing that, and he's paid the price seemingly, but we'll kind of wait and see what happens with his appeal. Obviously, court proceedings are not done and dusted yet, but yeah, not a very good look, is it? So yes, on the positive side, the Rugby World Cup is not too far away. Swiss Rugby Jersey is fantastic. Support from all you lot is fantastic. Traveling around China was fun. I hope that's a bit of something different. But yeah, I hope you guys are all good. Cheers as always. And yes, I will talk to you guys again soon. See you later.